And welcome back to the Step on a Crack podcast. Just like always, the episode is brought to you by SCI Fit Spinal Cord Injury Functional Integrated Therapy, with all of our locations: Sacramento, California, Fresno, California, and Pleasanton, California. Today I'm going to be talking with Mark Raymond. He is the man behind the founding of the Split Second Foundation based out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Great conversation. One of my good friends. I really like this one a lot. Our plan is to do it again more. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and here it is.
What you know about? What you know about?
We're in this thing.
What you know about?
Poppin', brother. What's happening, man?
Oh, you know.
Well, this is really a nice courtyard right now. Like,
It's a great spot to have a podcast, right?
fire pit. I like this. We haven't had this type of atmosphere. Nighttime up here too. This is good.
A little night air, a little night sky, fire pit.
I'm glad you happen to be in town because when I text you to be like, "Hey, do you want to get this podcast?" I was like, "You said I'm in town." Oh, all right. I was ready to Skype or like video conference or something to get like just have your voice on it. And then you said I'm in town. I was like, "Well, cool then."
Much better. Let's get it done live. Live and in person.
So then, just so we can get it started, just a little bit about just how your injury happened, background. You don't have to go into it super deep if you don't want to. Just so we know kind of what's up with it right now.
I'll give you my 3-minute synopsis of everything.
All right.
Healthy 27-year-old guy working around the country doing broadcast television, putting fights, festivals, basketball games, football games, different sporting events on TV, and making it look good was kind of my background and profession. July 4th, 2016, went out on a boat with a bunch of buddies and some friends, hang out, ended up diving off the back, breaking my neck and shattering my C5 vertebrae, while also drowning and putting myself in a few life-threatening situations.
Okay.
Moving forward, I spent 6 weeks in the ICU, another 6 weeks in an inpatient rehabilitation hospital, then thrown back into society in the real world. Look to find some better opportunities for people in my situation, as well as better just life situations.
Okay.
Ended up coming out to Sacramento about a year after my accident. Met some phenomenal people at SCI Fit, including yourself. Moved back home and kind of dedicated my life to making the situation in my home state better for all those who suffer from paralysis and amputation.
Okay.
And now I'm just constantly trying to form good friendships and connections and business relationships,
And
drive progress forward.
Okay. And so when you say make a better living situation or make life better for people who suffer from like paralysis and amputation, and really I'm just having talked to you, really other things kind of you're seeking for whoever really needs it neurologically or bodily if they're disabled in some way. I know you've talked about like you want to make it better for them. What does that mean for you in New Orleans? So what are you doing out there?
Man, so really, when we started the Split Second Foundation, our lead focus was just getting some type of fitness and wellness program there, right? And now that's trickled more into how can we build mental health and case management programs concentrated on reintegration of people post-tragedy back into society. How can we provide accessible, affordable living opportunities for people who genuinely or typically would be thrown into a nursing home or assisted living facility. How can we provide more independent living opportunities for these folks?
How is what you're doing like different than being in an assisted living facility?
Well, yeah, I mean, it would essentially be an apartment complex.
Okay.
Right.
Was this a complex like all accessible, all like with
It would be
California
100%
ADA, it's
accessible,
all
yes.
accessible. Okay. Lower cabinets,
Every unit
lower
would
sinks and everything.
I don't know if we would do lower or just more accessible in how we access it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Wider.
I think a lot of times people
built in.
think ADA and you think, okay, lower countertops, you know, put a microwave down here, but that's not so much the case when, you know, you got a microwave that could pop open by itself. You throw some food on it, shut the door, you know what I'm saying?
They make
Program
microwaves that
everything.
pop open by themselves.
Man, they make everything.
I'm living in the past. I'm over here pushing buttons, and it pop with as much as I eat. I need a microwave that pops open by
You'd
itself.
be like, Siri, microwave my food for 45 seconds.
Smart microwave.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Technology.
So that's the whole thing is making it more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Making everything more accessible.
Okay. And then
Like
you mentioned,
I think even for myself, like I don't struggle with stuff being counter height, and you know I'm in a power chair, so that's a little bit higher than most guys who are in the manual chairs.
one of the power chair you can boost up too. You're the ones that'll take you all the way up, or even the ones that'll stand you up.
It's a little
so
more
you can get
flexible.
in there.
It's a little more
Okay.
flexible.
And so,
So maybe I'm
how
not
far into
speaking
that
honestly
are
for
you
everybody.
right now?
You know, we're in design mode, like completely.
Design mode. Are you designing like? Are we talking a full apartment complex or like a fourplex, or how does this work?
Full apartment complex.
Yeah,
We're thinking 200 units.
200 units.
Multi-family.
Is it all one story or two stories? Obviously elevators, but
Oh yeah, it would be multiple stories.
Okay.
But spread out so we don't have to go too high and be overly dense in volume.
yeah, you don't want a 6-story.
No, not
Necessarily.
a story.
Okay.
I think 3's reasonable. You know, we aren't expecting everybody that lives there to have a disability, but we want to make sure that everybody that has the opportunity to live there would have an accessible housing space.
Okay. Would there be like maybe not necessarily someone who lives there has a disability, but like if I'm a parent and I have a child who is now away at college, but they have a disability in some way, I live there so that they when they come home or something like that. That's how
Yeah,
it goes.
we want to cover
Some
all
sort
of
of
those
qualification, like a low income, right? That type of thing, but obviously not low income, but there are qualifications to live there. Would it be something like that, or just if you apply, you can get in, and people with disabilities have like a priority over something, or how does that go?
I think we would encourage more people with disabilities to
Okay.
stay, but of course we would also want to have other families there because we want this to be an inclusive society.
Yeah.
You know, we want to.
You don't want to just isolate, right? That's not
Correct.
For sure.
That's not the goal at all. But you know what we want to have is those accessible showering spaces, accessible living spaces, comfortable closet spaces, just through sheer thought of how do we better position rooms and doorways.
Yeah. So that's something that you're going over with the designers, architects, and that right now. Like,
We're really just confronting design injustice and diving into that
Okay.
specifically in that manner right now. And as we get into the development of the actual complex,
yeah.
then we'll start to flesh out more of those physical problems
Mhm.
and barriers, right? But thinking of just a space that is universal,
Yeah.
you know.
Just everyone that wants to be there can be there, regardless of whatever situation they're in.
Anybody.
That type of thing. That's good. What about like financial assistance? Because obviously, especially if you have a disability, there could be high medical costs associated with that. Is there any sort of program that's in the state of Louisiana or New Orleans or that the Split Second Foundation is doing to help out people who would definitely benefit from living there but may not necessarily have the financial means to be in there?
Absolutely. I think one of the bigger things that we are working on is having all of our programs being affordable.
Okay.
Right. Understanding that most of these people are on a fixed income, going through challenging times, and trying to figure out, you know, some issues, and that's tough. And we want to work with them and work through this with them to provide healthier outcomes for them. You know, by. We've even thought about some financial literacy programs.
Okay, just kind of help
really
them
tying that into it as
how to sustain a certain lifestyle. Maybe not
Absolutely.
the lifestyle you had, but
absolutely
a livable lifestyle, and still go out and have some
lot
fun.
of that
Go
too.
see a movie, have some fun every once in a while, not just be I need to do this, this, and this because this is my life right now.
Well, and I think with a lot of these guys, like, you know, they're broke, they don't have any money, so it's not like they can just jump out and do, you know, expensive therapies and keep driving that for years. They'll run out of cash, right?
Yeah.
So they end up, you know, not doing much of anything and kind of fading into the wastelands of society, you know, constantly in and out of the hospital for different, you know, neurodegenerative issues.
So many different things you can be in the hospital.
Bed sores and,
Yeah.
you know, the bad things are endless that you could think of.
Okay.
But I think, you know, what we want to do is be able to provide something comfortable for all of those people.
Okay.
You know, something that could keep everybody really on a wellness path.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
Injured or not, it's a lifelong thing. That wellness path is, and it's different from everyone, right? Whatever they need, but they all need the same basic things. Now, the degree is going to vary.
Right.
It's something we deal with a lot, and just the way I exercise, they talk about, you know, everyone needs the same basic things, whether it's an Olympic sprinter or someone who hasn't gotten off their couch in 3 weeks, but a deadlift is a deadlift, or
A squat
right,
is a
or a
squat.
pull up is a pull up, and you all need, now someone may need to do 50 and someone may need to do 1, but you all need to do them. And same thing, right? You need core. Maybe for you, it's you need core to be able to sit up
Right.
straighter, or someone else needs core because they need to jump higher, run faster, whatever. But it's all the same thing. So
No, definitely.
do you then? So you mentioned, like in the beginning, just like a fitness facility or an exercise facility. You talk about like finding stuff that's more accessible like that, or creating something that's more accessible like that. I know you mentioned in Louisiana there isn't much like that, and there were 30 facilities around the country. There's not very many, less than 1 per state, average. Right? So are you working on creating one of those in New Orleans, and are you going to have something like that then in the facility that you are planning on building right now, creating?
Yeah, so our goal with the nonprofit, and because of, you know, our mission, how much coverage we really think we have, because of how broad it is, you know, breaking physical, societal, and research barriers for people with physical disabilities, we can accomplish a lot. You know, fitness is definitely one of our main objectives. That's, you know, goal number one. If we can keep people fit, we can keep them healthy.
There are
You know,
many benefits to the fitness, right? I mean,
many.
people don't think about necessarily, like, oh,
You're not going backwards
maintaining
so much anymore.
bone density. Yeah,
Yes.
you're not breaking bones. Well, you're not in the hospital as much.
Yes.
If you have greater blood flow, it helps with
Yes.
skin integrity and sores.
And then you got
a lot of people know,
another
but a lot
set
of
of
people don't
eyes
think about
on
it.
you. You know, from a muscle perspective.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right, and just even something with even something where you can just bounce ideas off of someone else who has a different perspective,
Yeah.
than you, right? And hey, maybe, you know, I mean, we know you're not working on this for, you know, physical, like athletic performance per se, but maybe you want to take some creatine, right? Maybe you want to try this type of diet,
Right.
maybe you want to try this exercise. How do we figure it out for you?
Right.
So you have someone else there that
Right.
has a different eye. I absolutely agree with that.
well, you know, I believe that, like, the technology and the space that we're in right now, you know, we're about to see some medical breakthroughs that we dreamt about.
Oh man, it's
The next 5 years or 10 years, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, keeping your body up and maintaining good levels of everything is going to be key to, I think, benefiting the most from what's to come.
well, yeah, I absolutely agree. You're not getting up in a right, any sort of exoskeleton or
Right.
any sort of, if your bone density isn't where it needs to be, because they're going to be, that'd be cool if you could stand, but we can't break your femur.
Right.
Right. So you need to be ready for when it happens, because it's
Right.
sooner rather than later, I think, what's coming. For sure.
Unfortunately. And, you know,
No,
it happens to too many people. Too consistently.
And there's so many ways it can happen. I mean, even just being at SCI Fit, the different ways that things can happen. I mean, stories I've heard and that type of thing. It's crazy.
Man. And I know, like, just from the sheer volume of people that we have in Louisiana that suffer from this, you know, talking about 300,000 people.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Do you know the statistics on that? How they happen? Like,
The leader
let's see
is
specifically in Louisiana. Do you know, or are you talking leader like nationwide now? We're going.
I think the nationwide consistent averages are pretty also consistent by state.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Louisiana has more drunk driving and car accidents that cause spinal cord injuries.
I could see that just because of a little bit of the
low percentage of diving accidents and boating accidents and sporting accidents, really.
Okay.
But you know, trampoline accidents and
all the things that are
freak
risky
accidents.
stuff. Okay. Have you guys looked into then doing some sort of just a preventative, but like educational, like, hey, I mean, rather than don't drink and drive, but something that's a little more in your face or a little more up to date that a 16-year-old wouldn't watch when they're learning how to drive in high school?
We're working on a lot of constructive ways to affect drinking and driving and reduce those accidents.
Okay.
You know, the rates are typically high, so there's some things we could do.
Okay. And so what's your exercise regimen like then?
Man, it depends on what day it is.
Oh, well,
honestly.
shit. We got time.
Monday,
Run me
Wednesday,
through the week.
Monday, Wednesday, I do Locomat, right?
Where at?
In Slidell. So I actually got to drive about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Just to go participate in this type of therapy, right?
Okay.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get up and I'll do standing frame for a couple hours.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a gliding standing frame, or you just standing?
Just regular stand.
Okay.
Still haven't got the glider. I want the glider though.
Gliders, it's ridiculous how expensive everything is. But just adding glider adds $2,000 to it.
But it's a necessary component to
It
this.
stretch your hips out, move your legs. Yeah, I know all that.
Get your blood flowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get your heart pumping.
Yeah.
You need cardio. Cardio is like the key to
So
this.
you're gliding for a couple hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I typically don't do much because of work. And then Sunday is just like maybe some standing frame.
Okay. And that's and then is that sounds like Sunday's kind of like your chill, maybe some standing frame, but that's when you could just recover, get ready for the week and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Working on split second foundation stuff, that type of thing.
And this all changed too. I think once we have a gym that's open, because you know then I have a space that I can go to and you know functionally work out. I don't have any real trainers yet that I trust. I think enough to just push me. You know, it's not like a lazy thing or you know.
No, you got to develop trust with someone because your safety is more so in their hands than a personal trainer that you go to the gym and see.
And I think that's hard to explain to most people. Like, you know, they think I just walk in anywhere and could do this, but it takes a you and a mic, you know, very special and well-trained people to do what you do and make me feel comfortable enough to get out there and do that. You know, because I'm literally just like, all right, cool, I'm jumping off the cliff. You know,
Yeah,
you're not going to do that with everybody.
No, I completely understand.
And it's not like, for me, it's not like a stamina thing, because I feel like my stamina is still up and I can still, you know, do it now. I know my body now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So getting up and walking around a room isn't hard. But getting up and walking around the room with the right person is a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, because then you got to identify that person. Like, if I know that guy, then let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, I know how we can do this well.
Yeah. When you want to be with someone who's like-minded too, in terms of, because it's easy to find someone where, oh, you're tired, okay, you broke your neck, so let's rest, right? But that's not what you want, right? I know you played tennis at Xavier, right? Collegiate athlete, so you're used to training a certain way. Now that your training is changed in style, the approach to it shouldn't change, right? And so you want to find someone who is going to support that same approach and not let you do that type of thing.
Right.
And we talked about even today, like, all right, you won't be able to walk for a half an hour. Okay, you'll be in this walking for half an hour then. Or you're riding the bike and my left shoulder blade's burning. You good? Yeah. All right, let's go then. As long as you're safe,
Right.
go through
Exactly.
it. Right?
And that's like the biggest component of trust, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But just like when you switched, you held me better, like locking my elbows out and just knowing how my body position sits than the new guy because he's never done it.
Oh, yeah, it's brand new.
Experience.
Yeah, he's 2 days in. I mean, he'll be good.
Not that he won't be good. You know, I think
it takes some time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even like learning just how like little shifts in a person's body will affect how they push and work out.
Yeah.
You know,
The littlest shifts. Like, you don't even...
littlest shifts.
People don't realize, oh,
I was telling him that. I was like, yo, push me, you know, because you can see when I'm twisted.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like, so you adjust that. And he didn't have that touch
It's
yet.
an eye that you get and a touch, and there's a feel that you get. People run it, you need about to be an inch to the left, and all of a sudden, the hips opened up a little more. Now you can pedal better or pull through better, that type of thing. For sure, you need to get the right person that does that.
Yeah, bro.
That's good. So
That
you're
shit's
working on
significant.
finding some people in Los Angeles, in Louisiana that are good for that. Then, right?
We want to find people that are qualified, but we also want to partner with SCI Fit, I think, to really build and develop good trainers.
Yeah.
People that can execute and maintain a certain level of performance.
Okay.
You know, just picking people is the hardest thing, especially when you don't know what exactly you're looking for in a person, right? You know, whereas certain people have that as an expertise, you know, and they just can see something deeper in a person than we can with, you know, not knowing it.
Yeah. A lot of times what you're looking for, right, is like not necessarily the skill set that's already developed, but you're looking for the mindset that's there. You can develop a skill set in most people, but the mindset isn't there. They're there just to be someone who is for whatever paycheck they're going to get, or they're there for just the recognition of, oh, it's good work to work with people like that. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to post all over Instagram, and I'm going to do all this and say how much good that I am doing. That's not
You're
the
looking
type of
for
person.
talent,
You're looking
not
for
skills.
someone who is, you're looking for someone who is there because they genuinely want to help, and it doesn't matter if one person sees or 100,000 people see, because that's the person that's going to go into, okay, I really need to develop my skill set and be good with people and be good with multiple types of people.
Right.
Whatever neurological injury or whatever deficit someone may have, they're going to study that and they're going to learn that and they're going to get good at knowing that. And you're going to find you're going to learn all the little intricacies of different people's bodies and how they're feeling on certain days. And you're going to learn that when they come in the building, ooh, that person's having a bad day because I can see them slouched in their chair. They're never like that. That means something's going on. What's the weather looking like outside? Oh, it's cloudy. They don't like it when it's cloudy because it hurts their rods in their back. So that's funky, right? That type of thing. And the people that are really about that are going to notice that type of stuff. The people that are there for the paycheck or the people that are there to show how much good they're doing without really themselves caring about how much good they're doing aren't going to see that. And I know at NCI Fit, that's the people we're looking for when we're looking at people who are going to come in and help do what we do.
Man, when I think about like value, that is the epitome of like the pyramid when it comes to who's a valuable employee or person in a structure like this, right? You want that level of commitment from all of your guys, but like you said, you won't get that. You know, you're going to have those people who are just there for the paychecks.
Yeah.
And I think what we like, and when I say we, I think, you know, the disabled, the spinal cord injury population, TBI population, everybody who's had a stroke, you know, we're just looking for people who are going to be absolutely committed to seeing us grow, get better, and continue to recover, and drive us to that same level, but know us.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to push us, know when we're rolling in bad. You know, and so that speaks volumes about, I think, what pretty much I was. I left SideFit with. Just knew you guys really gave a shit.
You have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Well, you don't, and that's the problem.
For us, you have to.
In my opinion, like,
you have to for us.
We call it a healthcare system, but they took the care out of health a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So you get health.
It's barely health.
And it's barely health.
It's just a system.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a wheel, and it's very broken, I think, in how we manage it. People get placed in life-threatening situations because they're dealing with residents. Just because of the cycle. Not to say that these guys, these kids aren't bad doctors.
Well, I mean, as a resident, someone has to learn somehow. So you're dealing with resident. I completely understand that. You go to somewhere like UC Davis that is a teaching hospital. They're phenomenal doctors. You have to learn at some point in time. And if you want to work with neurological injuries, then at some point you're a student who's learning about neurological injuries, and you're going to learn on someone in a live situation. I definitely understand that. And that the best neuro doctor in the country, in the world, at one point in time, was someone who was learning from someone else and could have potentially had someone in a life-threatening situation.
Potential.
Yeah. Right? Here you go. I got you. Go ahead and get your stuff. Yeah, but I think that's part of it, right? And then that doctor, that potential doctor, needs to have the exact same qualities. Now the paycheck's gonna be a little different, but the same qualities need to be there. I think. Like they still need to notice the little things, because they are little things. You still need to care about. People don't need to see what they do. They just need to understand that what they're doing is for good.
Exactly. And I think some see, like, and have empathy. Yeah. I want to say every doctor wants to do good.
Shoot, they take an oath. Good may be a byproduct of earning the check for some of them.
But just because you're doing good doesn't mean you can be rude.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard that experience with.
Or okay when bad happens.
What do you mean by okay when bad happens?
I feel like a lot of doctors get to a point where they feel like they've done their best.
Okay.
And if your best wasn't good enough, should you be okay with that?
What is your stance on that? If your best wasn't good enough, as a doctor, if your best is not good enough, was not good enough,
as a person, I understand that we all have to have a certain point where we can let go.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to just place that judgment. I can't. I'm not perfect. But I want a doctor to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Or as close to it
It's
as
a
possible.
double-edged sword.
Or as close to it as they can. You're not going to get a perfect one.
You want that. Your politicians and your medical professionals.
You want to be striving for it.
You want them to
right?
be goddamn
But
be
you know
perfect.
as well as I do with neurological injuries, there are so many variables that
Too many.
It's hard to be perfect.
There's no perfect, and I think...
But striving for
we
it is not
haven't figured out
a problem.
We haven't figured out how to fix it yet. And until we figure out how to fix it, we can't place a judgment on people who have a lack of empathy towards maintaining it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Lack of empathy.
Okay.
Like my neurosurgeons were glad that they saved my life.
As they should.
They didn't give a shit that I was paralyzed. Because their goal was to save my life.
But that's the initial goal.
Not
like
to
that.
keep
That's
me
the
alive.
that's the main goal is to keep you alive. I know that we talked. I remember in class we
The
talked
goal,
about when I was
the
in
goal
school,
is
we
to
talked
keep
about,
you
like,
alive, but
yeah.
not to keep you alive.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember in school we had a class, and one of the situations was like, okay, there's a person who may have spinal cord injury, may have broken their neck, they're face down in a puddle, and someone goes, well, you can't move them because they may have a neck injury. You can't move them. And the teacher goes, no, you need to move them because if they drown in that puddle, they're face down. It doesn't matter what injury they have; they're definitely not coming back from it if they die. So preserve the life first, and then you're going for the quality of the life after that. But if there's no life, there's no quality to be maintained.
It's
anyway.
ethics, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going for that for sure.
Amazingly, shit I went through.
Yeah, you were very close to that. if he drowns, doesn't matter what injury he has.
Oh, I did drown.
Yeah, and they got you, right?
Thank God they got the water back out. That didn't stop the pneumonia from setting in, and being trapped in a coma for 3 weeks.
It was 3 weeks. So what was it like then waking up? And just all right, I've been gone for 3 weeks. What's up? How is it? What's it like when you wake up?
I didn't know I'd been gone for 3 weeks.
But someone
I
told
popped
you at
up
some
and was
point.
like,
Yeah.
You wake up and you're shaking your head, you're trying to figure it out. Stuff beeping, ventilator going, nurses talking, you're trying to communicate, and you realize you have no voice, and you can't move
At all? Like you couldn't speak at all, or it was like a old smoking commercial? No voice. Okay. So how was it like when you woke up then? Who'd you see first? What did you want?
Saw some nurses.
Okay.
And then I saw my mom.
It's a good one to see right there.
Yeah, then I saw all the rest of the people that were around. It's crazy. It's a crazy time.
Yeah.
First thing I did when I saw my mom was to apologize, because I know she'd probably been going through it. And
why did
then
you
I
feel
said,
like you needed to apologize?
oh man, I knew I needed to apologize as soon as I broke my neck when I dove off that boat.
So you didn't pass out right away?
No.
Okay.
No, I hit my head on the sandy bottom, and that's what snapped my head back, shattering the vertebrae in the back of my neck.
Uh-huh.
But the impact didn't make me pass out.
Uh-huh.
So I floated up, and I couldn't move. And, I was still a little shook.
Uh-huh.
But I opened my eyes, and all I see is a sandy bottom. And I'm like,
Trying to move.
I can't move.
Uh-huh.
I doubt I was even like twitching. So finally, I'm laying there. First thing I think about is moms, and the second thing is praying. I was just praying to God that one of my friends would see me and drag me out of his water.
Do you know how you got out?
Don't remember it.
Do you know right now? Like, have you been told, or is it
Oh
still
yeah,
a mystery?
yeah. They told me that Daniel Victory, one of my best friends, saw me, drug me out the water. A couple other people, Jason White, my cousin Jared, were doing CPR, and my buddy Lance Thomas was getting other things organized so we can get out of there and get to an ambulance. They got the water out of my chest. Jason said he almost broke my sternum.
Doing CPR.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I coughed it up.
Yeah, he was giving it. I mean,
but I
that's,
still wasn't right.
You got to go deep in there for CPR. So he was doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then you woke up 3 weeks. What was your reaction when you were like, when you woke up? Shit, I lost 3 weeks. Like, what? How does it feel knowing like, damn, 21 days? I don't know shit that went on. I didn't even know I was out for that long. Does it feel the same when you wake up?
Well, when
like
I
you
told
just went to
Mom, I was like, when I woke up, I was like, Mom, I got to call my boss, tell him I'm not going to be at work
sleep? No, I'm not.
at the end of the week. And she was like, baby, what you mean? I said, I mean, I got to be at work in Providence this week. Did Dad go to the show? She said, Mark, it's July 22nd. I said, you got to be shitting me. It's been 2.5 weeks.
Oof. So what's going through your head then? You've been in July 4th to July 22nd. What's going on?
Well, I mean, I went from a really healthy, independent, vibrant, growing soul to paralyzed, stuck in a hospital, trapped. So naturally, my mental was shot.
Okay.
So I felt like there was a big lack in my mental health component.
So what took you then from there to where you are now? Because your mental game is back to, I should say, one of the stronger mental games I've been around. So what are the steps? How did you get there? Do you even know, or do you just kind of just keep pushing, and you as a person were someone who did that?
I've always treated life like it's a mountain.
Okay.
It was a mountain I was climbing in stride. I was probably getting close to the top, and I got knocked down to the point where the mountain was on top of me. When I woke up, and I had to fight through that. Then I had to fight through inpatient therapy. Then I had to fight through outpatient therapy, and all the different mental struggles and components that came with it initially. Then I had to fight with, finding better and looking at research and being hopeful, being positive, having a strong mentality. Because, I feel like as a person, there's no blueprint to this. You know what I mean? Like, you make a mistake and you either let it break you or you fight on. So I chose to fight on. I don't think I'm smarter than other people. I think I just have dealt with more adversity, so I have a different opinion, a different drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see it. That's why I asked, because not everyone in the same situation is like you. Mentally, and then now as a part of that, physically, the way you've progressed. I don't know, there's still places you want to go and things you want to do and progress you want to make. But you joked about when we grabbed the bourbon, you're like, look at this grip, it's way better than, and I was in New Orleans a year ago. It's better than your grip, you can hold a heavier glass with more bourbon in it. Right? Like, you've improved that though. Right? Your mental game was a big piece of that. And so it's cool to hear that, that's a big driver.
What's amazing to me is, to be honest, I've had to sacrifice a lot of my working out to do the nonprofit stuff and build programs and really be dedicated to doing better for, a lot of people than just focusing on myself and moving to stack and working out, all the time. That was an opportunity for me, but somehow I've still managed to get stronger by doing different isometric stuff, I still struggle with rotation.
Are you working on that? So back to that, I guess you're exercising. That left arm.
Yeah. Almost feels normal, minus the fingers. But
the way you can
reach the comfort is getting better.
Okay. And is that something that you're working on your workout days? So when you're working out, or it's just kind of
because I'm constantly
you're just doing things. So the therapy is in your daily living.
Exactly.
Okay.
The therapy is in my activity.
Well, and then that's your mental part of you want to be a go type of thing. Well, if you're go, your body needs to a certain extent also
Exactly.
be going.
Exactly.
And so you're out doing things, and I know the way you speak,
I didn't
and
think I was
your
gonna-
mannerisms. You still use your hands and your arms to speak to a lot of people, right? And so you're constantly working on range of
Right.
motion in that shoulder, doing that type of thing.
Right.
So your mental game, wanting you to be a go type person, helped your physical
That
stuff in that
people
too.
off.
Yeah, it's just you wanted to be as close to the life you were living before as possible. And so you're going out into social situations. That means you have to do things with your arms and with your legs and with your trunk that you may not have to do if you're sitting at home watching 8 hours of Netflix a day.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I didn't think I was going to be able to get up and walk the other day. You know, yesterday.
You did what, an hour or two in the last 2 days?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think that was going to be like something that was just that
And it was
easy.
good.
Even
too.
crawling.
Yeah.
I knew I had gotten stronger up here.
Uh-huh.
My lats, my scaps and back muscles, shoulder blades.
Uh-huh.
Even traps feel a lot more stable. But I didn't think I had gotten that much. Crawling was walking back, walking forward.
Yeah. How did that feel? So compared to last, so it's been since what we'll say 14 months. It's been since I was out there last February.
Yep.
Since you did any type of like
Yep. And then
what you would call
September,
like activity-based functional therapy, that type of thing, in terms of as intensely as it can go.
Yep.
If you have a walker and that type of thing. So it's been 14 months since then.
and the last time I was out here was October of 17.
Yeah.
I left.
Yeah.
So,
And so, what were the differences then that you noticed?
man, world of differences.
Really, it was that
Like,
big for you. I mean, I noticed it, but it was that big for you. I mean, you got the tone was different in your legs for sure. I could tell that when we were walking.
When Mike told me to crawl backwards on my elbows,
Yeah,
I mean, I was up on like, how before my
raised
head
up
used to
and
like
hunched
drag
down,
on.
scaps around, and because you're not supporting them in the
Yeah.
same way, neck is drooped. Like, and I didn't get to see that, and so you were all
Yeah,
just up on.
yeah,
That's nice.
solid.
Okay,
It was solid.
that's real good.
Walking, I mean, you saw the walking.
You held it up. Like we used to have someone behind you just in case you fall forward because your core was in your shoulder.
none of that.
Yeah. That was no.
None of that.
And for
Just-
half an hour you did it.
I mean, I knew I needed
The binder for blood
binder.
pressure, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was a precautionary thing.
And
You were already up
it's,
without
it's
your blood
pressure, and I think breathing for me too.
Kind of tight.
That added pressure.
Okay.
Yeah. It's my it's like acting as my diaphragm.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Get that boogie woogie on.
Mm.
But that bike was dope. I didn't expect that.
That was fun.
Like-
I was Mike. He was like, "Hey, we're gonna get him on the bike after." I'm like, "All right, let's go." That was good.
I definitely want to see do more of that.
Well, shit. So that's things you can take back, right, to New Orleans now and be like, okay, this is something that we didn't even think we could use stationary bikes.
Yeah.
Now we can put a couple of them in here if you change the seat up a little bit.
Right.
And you saw how it was going.
Yeah.
So you said on part of your schedule, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're taking time for work then, so you're not even training as much. What is your work consist of? Like, are we talking split second foundation work, or you have another job where you're going there 3 days a week and bringing in more of a like traditional paycheck, that type of thing?
So I don't have a traditional job.
Okay.
I kind of revolve in this entrepreneurial, small business and economic development role. But I also serve as a RTA commissioner, which is the Regional Transit Authority for New Orleans. I was appointed by Mayor Latoya Cantrell.
How'd you get that?
Uh,
I'm assuming you were appointed after you were injured.
I was appointed after I was injured, and I submitted a resume
Uh-huh.
when she was transitioning through her inauguration to the RTA.
And so you're now the
Now, pretty much the voice for the disabled population.
okay. So they
Yeah.
what? So they have something that goes on. They go call Mark Raymond. We need to talk about how this is going to affect and what we need to make sure this is in place. That type of thing.
Well, if it's about transit, you can email mark.raymond@norta.com. I'm always available. But mostly buses, streetcars, paratransit. We really want to work on expanding services in our, larger region, in the Jefferson Parish and St. Bernard Parish. Have paratransit run more efficiently, expand the streetcar routes, expand bus routes, get a full transit system and service, outreach program in the East. You know, it's a lot that we want to do there.
Okay.
So, you know, when I step into that role, it becomes a very serious issue.
Okay. It's a good role to have there, and you're a good person to have there.
I try to advocate for the little people.
So when that's on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday type of thing, you go into what, meetings for that, or conference calls, or meet and greets, or all the above, that type of thing? Or?
Well, it depends. Typically, it's actually like all throughout the week. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday work is more split second foundation specific.
Oh, okay. So what do you? What is taking up the biggest part of that time? Is it this facility, community you're building, or?
I think it's community and networking.
Okay.
That definitely takes up the bulk of the time. Doing interviews, doing outreach, trying to build these relationships. You know, so many accidents happen so quickly. So it's a lot of people rolling in and rolling out. But we try to keep up with and just make sure they're getting the right treatment.
Now, are you then? Oh, I know what I was going to say. With the Split Second Foundation, how many people do you have working with you? I mean, that's a lot of stuff. Are you handling most of that by yourself? Do you try to be at everything, or do you kind of delegate?
I do delegate a good bit. Right now I have 4 people working with me. I got a comms director, and he's really good. His name's David Schmidt. I got an administrative assistant. Her name is Hope LeBlanc. She actually is a bookkeeper and a secretary. So she keeps up with the numbers and keeps my path going forward and not twisted too much. Who else I got? Mom is probably number one volunteer, just driving me every day, whether it's up a wall or down that path. That's a different side of the same coin. Who else we got? We got social media. We got Issa. Issa's pretty dope. She's taking care of most of the accounts and giving us good analytics on the feedback. We are actually actively looking for another administrative assistant, or a more full-time one, and hope will fold into more of a CFO kind of role. We were just taking care of the books with me overseeing that. And then as we grow, we'll be hiring a director of development for our accessible, affordable housing development. We'll be hiring a director for our split-second fitness program to oversee, manage, and operate, run that whole thing. And then the mental health professional to be the director for our mental health case managers program. You know, and she'll have 2 people that work directly underneath her.
The mental health. Mm-hmm. Okay.
One of these people will be a director of case managers. Director of the other director will be of mental health, specifically psychology.
That's a lot. That's big. So, is there anyone else in the country that's working on something like that, then, that you know of?
I don't know if any other organizations are doing this specifically.
I mean, I can see different organizations working on different pieces of that entire thing that you have, Split Second Foundation, working on all of. Right?
Yeah, I think we've bit off a big chunk of a couple different pieces of fruit, and we're trying to see what's really what we can pull away with.
How's it feel like it's going right now?
Good, really good. it's a lot of people that recognize us and want to see it, want to come, want to participate.
You have the Dependence Day coming up. It's late June this year, right?
Yeah, Dependence Day, June 28th.
So what is Dependence Day for? Just so you know. What's going on?
Dependence Day is the Split Second Foundation's annual fundraising celebration, and we named it that because my accident happened on Independence Day, and it was the day I became dependent on everybody else for care and help, and so just a very significant day in my life. But I think it's the day that we all, and when I say we, everybody that has had an injury, we all have a Dependence Day. So that's our day, and basically it's like I said, a fundraising celebration.
What do you do at your celebrations? Tell me about one of these.
Man, listen, this one's going to be at Metro at Generations Hall, Brief and Teen, Andrew Higgins. We're going to have Big Sam's Funky Nation, Soul Rebels, my boy Kevin Stiles, and Erica Falls, like a bunch of New Orleans legends, come and rock the house. Then we got a big silent auction. We got a taste of New Orleans in Metro 2. We got Rod Smooth spinning in the silent auction room, which will basically be a mini art gallery. So a lot of different components, a lot of important people. It's just going to be a dope event.
How long have you been planning all that?
I've been planning it for almost a year now. Yeah. We had our first one on July 4th, 2018. Pretty much just after that, I dove in and planned this one. That one was super successful.
I saw the pictures from it. I remember seeing it. It looked nice. It looked real good.
Super duper successful.
Okay.
It was a great event. I hope you guys can make the next one. How about that?
It's coming in late June, right? What's the actual date of it again?
June 28th. We're going to get a bunch of hotels blocked off.
Yeah. You already started working on that. You have to do it that far. I mean, it's not that far away anymore.
Pretty much.
Okay.
For 2 months, you want to be prepared.
Your mom been involved in that too, or she just goes for the party?
She's been really involved with all of that.
Okay. So as then involved as your mom has been, because she's involved, for sure. As involved as pretty much you can get. You two have maintained a really good friendship and mother-son and at times caretaker relationship. How do you think you've done that? We've seen some that haven't gone that way.
My mom is my best friend. She really is. She don't know she is, so don't tell her. But we get along really well. She's my everything. I don't know what I'd do without her. But she's also very counterproductive at times.
It's hard. I'm sure it's hard. It's hard being the son of the person that's taking care of you, even though they took care of you for a long time. It's not the same role you expected. Right?
Completely different.
Are there things you are like, nah, mom, don't do this? Like just
tons.
Or at times have you told her like, hey, back off a little bit more than normal for you need your space more so than maybe.
You could tell your mom back off, but your mom ain't about to back off. She don't give a shit about what you think, what you say. You know what I'm saying? If you're in this situation, if you're in any situation where they can care for you, like you're their baby again, they're gonna do that.
So then, but how have you maintained that good relationship? Because you two have the evolved relationship of an older son and a mom, it's not like you're not 12 years old and you're still treated that way, and you guys still talk to each other and interact in that way, where you are you're very good friends. The relationship is less so parent-child, but then there are times where it's kind of just a built-in parent-child thing, or less of that, but caretaker and person who needs care relationship, and you just so happen to be mother and child, and so you kind of fall back into those roles a little more at a younger stage, it would seem like, if I can put it in that way, right? So how have you maintained then the deep friendship that you two have?
Oh, shit. How do you maintain a deep friendship with your mom?
This might be just in general, if you
right.
want. Like,
this
go wherever it takes you.
Good, like, it's just a damn good question. I mean, I really love my mom, you know, so there have been situations where I know it's like that. What would I do without her? What would I be without her? And the only reason I paused for so long is because how do you really wrap up that much love? And, you know, not only is she my mom, but now she's my best friend. You know, I'm always with her. We always gotta, you know, do stuff, and it's this kind of uncomfortable but my mom type relationship. You know, she always like is looking out, trying to make sure I'm straight. So like, you know, if I'm trying to talk to a chick or something, you know, she'll like jump in and be like, "Yo, make sure he does this or something." I'm
like, what's that like? How is it when you're talking to a
Get
girl?
out of here,
How does that go? How's that when you're going out like that?
She's such a mom. Like, she's just a mom.
Right. So see, that's the like, she's your
it
best
doesn't
friend
turn off.
and the mom. You can.
No, it's just mom.
It's not gonna shut down. Doesn't matter where you go. You can't.
Yes,
shut
she's
down.
my best friend, but that's my mom.
So how is that like dating, or they even just talking?
Because the only thing you could do is go, "Mom."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't about to spaz too much on moms. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what? That ain't crazy. Shit.
Does she? So when you're out, then you're out. You're right. You're young. You're very social still. I've seen you out talking to people. Like, are there times when she just sits in the back and you do your own thing, and you're not gonna have a moment where you go, "Mom," like you just you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I try to get away from her. You know what I'm saying? Just to prove that I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Get some other shit set up. Like, my goal is to have a couple caretakers that could just manage my situations, you know, when I get back to the crib and whatnot. So moms could really have a good time.
Yeah. Do different things.
You know, or even like, you know, maybe mom needs to develop the caretaker program. You know?
I mean, I don't think it would be a bad thing, because it's a point of view that fewer people have.
She could definitely train some people.
Yeah, and then you're looking for the personality and the desire to do certain things, not desire to be thought a certain way of.
Right.
Okay. Have you talked about that with her?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so are you looking at caretakers now, or I mean, you guys are obviously good in your situation right now.
We're comfortable, I think.
Uh-huh.
At least I'm comfortable. But I know it's gotta stop. You know, she can't take care of me forever.
As most things do. Yeah.
You know, we need the younger models.
Yeah. So what's next for you then? What's next for the split second, for Mark Raymond, for...
Man, we got so much. It's crazy. We got Crescent City Classic on April 20th.
What's the Crescent City Classic?
It's a 10K in New Orleans, starting in front of the Superdome. and ends in front of City Park.
Okay.
In front of the New Orleans Museum of Art. It's beautiful. Races all the way down Esplanade, all the way down Poitras, wraps around Harris. Bus a left, shoot in front Canal Place, and then take a right all the way down Decatur through the quarter, past in front of Jackson Square. It's beautiful. Take a left on Esplanade, take that straight shot to City Park.
So you know the route pretty well.
Yeah, I know the route.
Are you gonna manual chair it? Are you gonna be in your power chair and go? Do you have a team? How's that go for you?
So we are actually one of the charities this year.
Okay. Split Second Foundation is?
Split Second Foundation is a charity.
Okay.
Participant, and we've got a team, over 50 people, maybe over 60 people at this point. We were shooting for 100 people, and we're gonna walk it out, man. Walk it, roll it, hop it. However we gotta do it, we're gonna get it done. It's gonna be dope.
So how are you gonna do it then?
I'm doing the power chair. I'm gonna drive it out.
You can put the speed all the way up and just go.
Yes, I'm gonna drag race this thing.
Okay. Are you guys donating to anything else? So you're one of the charities for the Crescent City Classic?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have a specific set number you're trying to do per year, or certain events you're looking to get into, or is this relatively new to you, so you're kind of feeling it out as you go?
I was feeling it out this year. Our goal this year was 15,000. As of right now, April 9th, we are at 12,000. So we're very close to our goal.
Damn, early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't even got to race day yet. So hoping we get a little bit of an influx, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's going to be good, though. Real close to that 15,000. I feel like we might be at it by tomorrow. Yeah.
I mean, we're at basically 3 months in, because we haven't had all 3. That's good. I like it. Well, shoot, man. We got, 9:40. I got to get up about 4:30 tomorrow morning. Oh, when we call this one, and then we'll check back up in a couple months.
Yeah.
You might talk enough.
Shit, let's do this shit like monthly.
I'm down with that. Good talk to
Good
you,
shit.
man. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
About an hour.
What you know about? What you know about?